Good morning, everyone. It is April the 22nd, 2016. Time to finish up this week's trading, and finish it up we will. Today is option expiration for the 10-year, 30-year, 5-year paper, and that tends to yield a trading range. Longer term, we're dealing with a B. And stock market strength, I think the Treasury market has pretty well accepted the fact that the E-mini is going to trade higher no matter what the news is. Overnight news was limited out of Asia. Japan was all excited about more. Bank of Japan support for their stock markets hinted at, probably coming. In Europe, the manufacturing flash PMIs, Germany's was up, France's was down. It was mixed. So overall for the EU, the flash manufacturing PMI was off a little bit. Services were lower, and Italian retail sales were off. So the economic news coming out of Europe has inflation lower than desired, contrary to what the central bank's trying to do, and economic weakness. The economic news out of China, everybody's talking about first quarter stimulus by the People's Bank of China and their government of over $1 trillion will spill into better economic numbers for the rest of the year. And they talk about how housing prices, etc., have rebounded in most of the major markets. You know, free, cheap, easy money. The stock market has scared a lot of people off. The play is back in real estate, and the Chinese are cooperating with the intent of their government by buying real estate and trying to flip again. So here we sit today with news. PMI 52, that would show economics, small, modest economic growth. Baker Hughes rig count probably lower than it was last week at 480. Last week, I don't know what it's going to be this week. This number could come in a little lower than forecast too. So the news isn't typically market moving. Today we have option expiration 29.16 to 130 even is where the play is in the 10-year, so that would favor a close at 29.24 as we start. And the 30-year is 161, 163. And that would favor a close at 162. And option expiration tends to freeze the market. So our first sell is 23.27, sell 1. 31 to 03, sell 2. On the buy side, I think we're going to probe lower, but I don't think we can break. That will break the market, so we'll put 13 to 17. We'd like to let them go a little bit lower, get stops below the overnight session lows at 16, and then see it hold up, and then 5 to 9. Okay, the 30-year, the non-spread stabilized overnight. It's off quite a bit from where it has been, but it was a little higher, like 3/32 overnight. And we find ourselves in the same situation. So put both of these sessions together. It's a P with volume low in the distribution, but above yesterday's. The London's low at 17. So this might be a little cute. Right now, structurally, you'd have a buy at 21, 117 to 21. The low is at 17, so we'll make 16 to 20 number 1, and then put 9 to 13 for buy 1, and then 29 to 01 for buy 2. On the sell side, we have resistance starting at 29. We're at 22, so 26 to it's like 30 will be 1. So we'll try to sell 63 evens to 63.04 for sell 1, and then 11 to 15 for sell 2. Now remember, on option expiration, they try to freeze the puts and the calls, and they'll make a run higher, they'll make a run lower, and then come back. Usually we'll close at the central price. Gold's off overnight, and again, I think that while gold can sell, that its long-term direction is still higher because of the chaos. I mean, it's just in everything: foreign affairs, country, currencies, government leadership, all sorts of questions out there right now. One of the stories out overnight was the U.S. is jawboning and strong-arming England to stay in the EU. Centralized government, consolidation of power, Brussels. If we can get everybody going, one government going around the globe, that would suit those political entrepreneurs that get wealthy and lead very, very secure lives. To the T. So that's where we find ourselves. So gold, 50's one of the tipping points. It is a round number. So 49 to 51, sell 1. 54, 56, sell 2. On the buy side, I think we can go a little bit lower. So 43, 45, buy 1. 39.41 by 2. And looking at the 6E, after what happened yesterday, we would anticipate a pause day. The first trade coming in London would have been a sell. They took care of that in the Asian session and went back up, and you can see this 4/5 letter ledges. That's where resistance is, and it pretty well stopped there. Right now we're at 75. Looks like we're headed lower. Probably going to get stops. We had 12.50 has been pretty good support, and we're at 75. So we're going to play for a little bit lower. We're going to play for 12.50 for buy 1. I'm going to put a question mark at 75, and then 12.25 for buy 2. On the sell side, last rotate up stopped at 90, basically the buck. So we'll make 95 to 113.05, sell 1. 113 even, plus or minus a nickel. Then 20 to 30, sell 2. The market is headed lower. The E-mini, not the E-mini, the European Central Bank wants the euro lower so they can export outside of the European Union. Okay, crude oil is interesting. Last couple of months on explorations, prices have held up for a couple of days. The U.S. has wrapped up its meeting with Saudi Arabia, and there supposedly will be continuous talks between now and the June OPEC meeting. So rhetorically, they get a big rally up on a news spike that something's going to happen, then it's pretty quickly denied, and it holds those gains. So market's acting like a lot of people are still caught short. Best selling's above 44. We've been able to participate in that for the last 2 trading days. So we'll put 43.75, 44 S1, 44 and a quarter, 44.50 S2, 43 support. So 43 and a quarter is buy 1. I think we can take that out, and then we'll make 42 and a quarter, 42.50 buy 2. Like the short side better in anticipation of a retest of 43. Okay, the E-mini is going to be interesting today. 2075 is a round number, and so far the 2075-78 area is holding up as support. If we put all of this together, and probably easiest to see on this screen, you can see that we got a pretty strong P. The breakout came at 81.82. We haven't really gotten down into haven't really tested 75 yet. You can see that this move started up from 32, which was that low volume number. So I've got a little P here, and I've got another P right here, and we're really testing the top of the P at the 78.80 level. So this market is still pointed higher, and economic news doesn't have a hell of a lot to do with it anymore. It's what will the central banks do, and Japan supposedly is getting ready to buy more ETFs. So you can see that we do have a P coming into the day session, which leads me to believe that we're going to retest the 2090 area, give or take. Pretty good buying against 80. So we'll make our first buy 80 to 82. And then we're going to do 74.76. I don't think the market is going to break today. Not that it shouldn't. Sell 1, 89 to 91. Sell 2, get above that, basically 95 to the buck. PMI at 52. Baker Hughes rig count was 480 last week. Both these numbers could come in lower than forecast. And that's the news for the day. It's going to take a bit to get everything up and posted. I'm going to get busy on that. I will be back with you as soon as possible.